All right.
Kavit, so may I know I don't know. Are you working for Ionic?
No, no. A friend just passed on this information, so I just joined the webinar.
I don't know, like, so who has passed the information? This is for strictly for the Ionic employees. I don't know, but anyway, you are okay to join this demo, but going forward, this is only for the Ionic employees, not for the outsiders for sure.
Yeah, because even
Okay.
I never got to know like it is for an employees or something. This information even I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay, because generally this demos will be open for the public. So
yeah, yeah.
at
That's
least
what
some
I'm
people
saying.
would have intimated me like this is for
Yeah,
strictly for this kind of a people. But anyway, so whoever attended, don't worry. So uh, since it is a demo, so anybody can join and take a decision in general. Yeah, so maybe if it is the INAC employees, whatever the company, so that is okay. Maybe for them, if it is a private thing is required, so we can take up that as separately. But the demo point of view, so it is, I will take in a direction like the people are beginners. Okay, right. All right, so yeah, so let me introduce myself Ganesh. So I have been working into this the AI for more than a decade. So I have total around 12 plus of years experience into uh, the sector, and have worked into the previously the telecom, retailer, and IoT based companies. And currently, I have been doing this trainings as my part-time job, so it's not my full-time. I'm not associated with any of the company where the Rani and all were there. So just took me as for some time for the trainings and all. Okay, so currently I'm working as the principal AI engineer. So yeah, so that is all about me, and I have the exposure into multiple domains like software engineering, system architecture, data science, machine learning, natural language processing, computer vision, agentic AI, generative AI. So all the cloud technologies, AWS, Azure, Edge, GCP. So I have worked on almost every single technology, you name it. Yeah. So all right. So let me start the demo. Since most of you guys are beginners, I just wanted to know what is your understanding about the AI. Can anybody just take up like what do you think the AI is? What is the difference between the AI and generative AI? And I can introduce the agentic AI later. So let's make this session interactive so that I would you could use this session as a more understandable manner. Yeah. Please, anybody, just take it up and tell me what do you know about the AI? What is the difference between AI and generative AI? Probably machine learning as well.
Yeah, generative AI is a combination of AI plus ML. That's what I heard. I have a little bit knowledge onto this platform, Ganesh. And AI is which is used for understanding the things and the system on its own. It should be able to do it. So whereas generative AI is, it will giving the prompts and give taking the data, any external data also given, it stores, and basing upon that, it generates on spontaneous whether it is accurate to the prompt given over there or not. This is my understanding on a whole set.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm.
All right. Okay. So to some partly it is true. Yeah. So the thing is, I have you guys worked on the predictive modeling earlier before to the generative AI, probably from the 2022. So we even have the AI since long time. The algorithm which we have been using within the machine learning like linear regression, logistic regression, SVM. These are all algorithms for there as part of the classical machine learning. You probably wondering this AI is a new concept. No, it's not. But the mathematical concepts have been existing since more than 100 years. If you look into the
Mm,
linear regression algorithm, it's nearly more than 100 years old algorithm. We have been
mm.
using it right now. All right. So, but comparatively, if you ask me what is an AI, what is the difference between the traditional programming and AI programming? So you probably already Java developers or JavaScript or you have been using multiple languages, right? So have you
Yeah.
ever wondered what is the difference between the programs? Like the level of programming you write into the AI and ML and the conventional software history you write. What could be the difference?
So with AI, you're basically training a model, just like how you train a human being, and providing it with enough information so that way it can make the decisions based on the information that it has been trained with. Whereas the other software applications, you're providing instructions as to sequential workflow or whatever it is,
Very good. Yeah.
step-by-step instructions of what needs to be done.
So what you will do in the traditional programming, you will give the input, and human will write the program, and the computer will do the computation and give you the results. That is how the traditional programming is working, right? The input and the program is written by the human, and the computer will calculate the results. But in the AI level, so it's a little bit opposite. You had to provide the input as well as the output. The computer will write a program. Here, the program in the sense model. The computer will understand the patterns, whatever you have it, and write the program. So let me, because since many of the guys are new, I'll just give something very intuitive way of understanding this. Just give me a second. Just tell me what could be this number. A come B, there is a result. I just want you to see what could be this number. Can you guess
24.
how it is 24?
So you are multiplying the A and B, right? That's what. Oh, sorry. No, I did not observe
Okay,
the above patterns.
right.
8.
Right. Uh-huh. Okay, so how it
Based
is
on
8?
this pattern,
Except the row 8, everything else is like the greatest number out of the two.
no, based on this pattern, we can't find that result like that.
Okay, so
Because
mm,
because we have only two rows which can tell us you need to multiply, but remaining rows are not going to tell us what we need to do. Based on this, you cannot judge it. But if you are a simple program, if you are writing that program, you can tell that answer like 24. But AI is going to decide how AI is going to decide if you give the model like this.
so that is what. So everybody, when I push this pattern to you, so push this example to you, everybody start thinking about the pattern, right? Though you're looking into the historical data, what could be the pattern given an input and output? So how the output is being formed? This is what you're thinking, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're able to find the pattern, some people are telling like 24 because your pattern is A multiplied with B. Some people might be thinking something only the A, maybe you are looking the A could be the only the answer for this pattern, right? So that is what your brain is continuously looking for the pattern given historical data, right? That is what exactly the AI is doing it. So this part we call it the training data, where you have the inputs and outputs and you're trying to see the pattern, we call it the training data. Once you identify the pattern, maybe if I give you some more time, you could identify the pattern. And then you will see what could be this. Then that is what we call it as a testing. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
look at here. For example, if you're writing any conventional programming, you have to figure it out. This logic, what are the pattern? You have to look at, maybe you had to spend more time identify the pattern, you write a program. How do you write a program? Suppose I'm just writing a pseudocode here. Result and A comma B, I'm sorry. Okay. So given A comma B as an input and the logic you had to figure it out or the pattern, whatever. So use so and so logic and you will write the computation and return the results. So result is, the writing here is very difficult. Return results. So this is what conventional programming looks like. But in the AI programming, you will give the A comma B and the result as an input. A comma B and the result, all of them as an input. So you have to, the program has to, this AI has to return the logic or the pattern. You got it? So for example, here the pattern is 2A minus B plus 2. Okay, so this is the pattern. You can see the, now you can tell me the answer, right? Is it being satisfied?
Answer 15.
Exactly. The answer is 15. So that is what is happening within the AI. So this is what we call it as predictive modeling. Okay, so here the output, whatever you're predicting is a number. When you are predicting the output as a number, we call it as a regression problem. What if this is not a number? What if it is something category? Like given an image of the cat and dog, I want you to predict which is what. That is a category. You are not predicting any number. That problem comes under the classification. Okay, so in the classical machine learning, there are two sets of problem. The one is the regression and the classification. This both belongs to one super category called supervised learning. Why we call it a supervised learning? You are given an input as well as an output. So you're trying to find the pattern. We call it as a supervised learning. And what if I don't give the output at all? I'll remove this result completely. What do you think could happen? What would you predict? Then you don't have anything to predict. There is no labeled data here. So this problem we call it as unsupervised learning. Okay, unsupervised learning, we don't have the output variables, target variables. Then what we do? Think of it like you are working for suppose you are working for a marketing company. Maybe you have the customers. Let us say e-commerce company. You have the customers. You have seen. You would like to segregate the people, group the people based on their personality, based on this behavior, some kind of a pattern you wanted to find out and group them. So there you can use unsupervised learning, especially clustering problems. Okay, so here you would group them. So based on their the hidden quality of similarity, then you can group them. So there are some algorithms out there which can do it. So okay, you got this one right. So what I'm trying to say here is there are different kinds of problems within the AI. Please be mute because there is an echo. If you guys are not speaking, be unmute. Thank you. Yeah. So regression and classification problems, which comes in supervised learning. There is a clustering problem which comes under the unsupervised learning. You got it? So now people might have heard the models, right? You might be hearing about a lot of AI models, machine learning models, generative AI models. So can anybody tell me what is a model? What do you think is a model?
It's a kind of a pattern, right? So where you follow certain thing and it reaches out into the final result, what it is expected to. So that can be called as a model.
It's like an
So
algorithm.
yeah, so is it an algorithm or is it yeah, let us conclude that. So you have this data, training data. So you have to find a pattern. How do you find a pattern? That is where you use the algorithm. You train this data, take the data and take an algorithm, train on top of it, so you will get a model as an output. So this algorithm will change. If you are going into regression problem, the algorithms are linear regression. And do you know what else?
Logistic regression.
Logistic regression is not regression problem, it's a classification problem. Though the name itself indicates regression, it's not a regression. Generally, it will be used in the classification. Okay, and yeah, there is a reason why it falls under classification, why the name is a regression, but I'm not going into the detail for now. Yeah. So, and there is a maybe the SVM. So there are multiple models. You can use it for both the regression and classification. Same model, you can tweak it to work for both of them. So linear regression, logistic regression is then support vector machines for there. The regressor is there as well as classification is there. And the here, especially here, the decision trees.
Random forest.
Very good. Decision trees, random forest. Random forest also you can use it for both regression and classification. Okay. So maybe I will write as a in between. What is the merchant center? No, I can't do that. Yeah. So and random forest regressor also there. And what else? One minute. One minute. Because there is a this class supposed to be there was already ongoing batch. I have already informed them there is no class today, but I think they got some confusion.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. I informed them. Sorry for that. Yeah. So random forest and then the boosting. So there are multiple boosting algorithms. So they're like the XG boosting, order boosting. So this all comes under the boosting. So yeah, and in the clustering, so we have the
K-means clustering.
very good K-means clustering and the DB scan, K-means clustering, DB scan, and hierarchical clustering, and there is even a PCA, principal component analysis, especially that is used for dimensional reduction. Yeah, so these and all comes under the classical machine learning. Okay, so what happened later? So this entire sector got changed once the neural networks has come into the picture, right? Neural networks has come into the picture. So in the neural networks, so how this concept has come? So people have the neurons created, like how the humans have the neurons. Can we create artificial neurons which can mimic the human brain? So that is the concept, and the neurons are interconnected to each other. Okay, so it almost looks like uh, so look at this one. So there are multiple layers of neurons were created. They're interconnected to each other, to mimic the human brain. And so how the your human brain really works? Whenever you look into some particular object, some set of neurons will fire in your brain. Then in that sense, you will identify the particular object. Let's suppose you're looking at the cat or dog. So how do you know that is exactly the cat or dog? Because from the beginning, as a baby, you were trained on such data. By looking at the cat, so you are able to identify that as a cat because some neurons are trained in such a way to fire it so that if the firing happens in the same way, how did you learn? Then you will identify it's a cat. Same concept they are going to use here. For example, you have the suppose here this neuron, this neuron, this neuron. Some set of 4 to 5 neurons are getting triggered by looking at the cat. Okay. Same thing would happen when you see the object. Same set of neurons will be fired and you will be able to identify that as a cat. So how do you know which neuron to fire? So that is what being taught during the process of training, right? So that we call it as a neural networks training. So in that we have the multiple layers again. Here, how do you define the how many neurons should be there, how many layers should be there, what should be activation function, propagation. That is a very huge concept related to the neural networks, and it requires you to even these algorithms are mathematical algorithms. You need to have the good understanding of the mathematics to do it. And similar to here, so the calculus, linear algebra, geometry, these and all the mathematics which request to understand all these algorithms. And the artificial neural networks, it was evolved into the RNNs, recurrent neural networks, which is used for the text, which is used for the text. So if your input is a natural language, so you tell me what kind of a data is there in the world? Can you tell me like what do you see? What kind of data you see in the day-to-day life? First data is tabular data, nothing but structured data, right? So where you have the tables with rows and columns, and same one, even structured data I will call it, or JSON format, I will call it as a structured.
Images.
Very good images. And
Audio, video, text.
the text, yeah, very good. So videos, I can call images and videos together because videos is nothing but the images are moving some particular frames per second, right? So I will consider both of them as the same. Okay, the text, maybe the audio. So here, even the audio case, it is a text eventually. Whatever the output we get is a text. So wherever you deal with the text, we call this problems as NLP, natural language processing. Wherever you deal with images, we call it as a computer vision. So wherever you deal with this one, we call it as predictive modeling. You got it? We call it predictive modeling and computer vision and NLP. So these three sectors used to work, especially predictive modeling is used by data scientists, computer vision by computer vision developers, NLP by NLP engineers. Okay, but nowadays all these roles are being combined, at least some of them, not everything, and it is being called as the AI engineer or machine learning engineer, right? So now, okay, so given all these things, so where the generative AI has come? Where the generative AI has come?
Now, one quick doubt, where the files are coming into picture in this one, so it goes into text only?
This one is for the NLP? Which
No,
one you're
no,
saying?
file storage, if you say data,
Ah,
And these are all types of files. JSON is a file. Images are a file.
it's a
Text is
type
a
of
file.
data,
Audio
right?
is a file.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this and all type of
Data or
data.
files is
So it can be like TXT file. This can be like CSV files. Okay, table data means it can be CSV, and these are images. These are all text. Text can be like anything, right? PDF, or it can be TXT format. The format I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the data type it is going inside.
I've got the
Uh,
point.
yeah. So all right. So now, yeah. So back in 2017, something happened. So where Google has published a paper called "Attention is All You Need." This paper changed the world. Okay, from the Google. So what happened there? What did they publish in that paper? So if you had to go a little bit deeper into that paper, uh, just a second, let me push that. So this is the paper got published by the Google team. You can see the Google employees IDs here. And come back here. What did they propose? They proposed a transformer architecture. This is a transformer which changed the world. Okay, so whatever you're saying, the generative AI, everything agentic AI, everything is built on top of it. So the transformers works on the principle of encoder and decoder architecture. I'm not going in detail. This is an extremely complex architecture. At this moment, it is involving the neural network, certain activation functions, and the embeddings, and the attention mechanism is what this particular algorithm runs. So attention mechanism is in the sense, uh, I'll just give a very brief for this demo. Uh, Come down. So sorry, in this it is not mentioned. Let me write over here. For example, uh, suppose I'll take it. A dog is eating food because it was hungry. Let us take this sentence. A dog is eating food because it was hungry. Can you refer me what is the eat? It refers to. What does it refers to?
It refers to
Dog.
the cloud.
Yes.
It refers to many things. It refers to an animal, dog, and food habits, and why it is doing, what it is,
No,
how
no.
it
It
is,
refers to
and what
what?
it is.
Because no, no. Because here
Action.
a dog is eating food because it was hungry. Who is hungry?
Dog.
Dog.
Yeah, it refers to the dog, right? That is what
Yes.
I
Yeah, yeah.
mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it
So it
is.
refers to the dog. So it refers to the dog. It also can be refers to the food. Will it be food?
No.
Because
No.
food can't be hungry. Is it right? Okay. So that is what. So here, attention mechanism it solves this problem. So it tried to find which word you wanted to give attention to from the given the word from the it. Where do you see this very good attention scoring? Is it a? Is it a dog? Is it is? So you wanted to make a similarity match or closest match from the it to anything. Then it will understand the semantic meaning of the uh, sentence. So that is the problem the people used to face before to this transformers architecture. So that is being referred and addressed here to solve this problem. So in the transformer architecture, it will try to find the meaning of a sentence, especially semantic understanding, because as a human being, you already trained on the English language, you know it. But how do you train a machine to understanding a text? So that is where the attention mechanism has come. To refer to that, to give even more detail, I pushed this one. Look at here, this paper. So it is in a vertical direction. Try to copy because I can't rotate this PDF right now. So you can read here. The law will never be perfect, but its application should be just. This is what we are missing, in my opinion. Okay. So the law will never be perfect. Each and every word is associated with the other words, how much attention you wanted to give. And you can see the thickness of a line. The density is too much means it is giving the more attention to that particular word. Okay. In that manner, so once we calculate the attention scores, we'll get to know which word we had to pay more attention to. Eventually, after this, so how the earlier people never had a thought of generating a text. People used it to do the classification or regression. So this idea unlocked to generate a text. So in the text generation, how the text generation will work? So that is where the generative AI has come. Generative AI refers to generate something. Either you wanted to generate a text or you wanted to generate an image. Something you're generating. How the generation is happening? If you open the ChatGPT tool, right? So how this will work? You ask any question. You ask any question to the ChatGPT. Or let us say the uh, uh, sh- show me 7 wonders of the world. How the text is generating? A token by token, word by word. Is it right? You're not getting entire sentence together. Like it is not waiting for the entire response to generate and push it onto you. So this is what is nothing but the generation of the text. Generation of the text. So I will tell you what is a token. Token, it's equal to the word you can think of right now, but technically it is not. It's equal to 3/4 of the word. But in generally we can't define what is the length of a token. But for this understanding, you think token is equal to the word. Okay. So token is equal to the word. So initially it refers to the here, and then are the new 7 wonders of the world. So each and every token got generated based on the previous history. Okay, so first here is there. What should be the possible word can come next to the here for this context or what should be the next possible word? So it is equal to the prediction of the next word.
Mhm.
You got it? So that is how the LLMs are working. So eventually, so this generative AI is working in this way. So that output probabilities you have to get. That output probabilities will be uh, produced from this architecture at this one. Output probabilities. What is the probability of the next word or next token given in this question? That is how the generation will happen. And now, so far we are talking about generative AI, right? So how much data you had to train to reach to such level? It's a huge data. You had to train with almost the chart GPT knows almost everything you ask for, most of the things, because it was trained on entire internet of data. How much data do we have in the internet? Petabytes of data, right? So you take the such kind of a data, you had to take this transformer architecture. Okay, transformers architecture. You train with the data. I'm not going in detail like how you prepare the data. That is also a very big challenge. The preparation of the data. It requires years and years. You need a lot of workforce to prepare such kind of a data. Internet data is there. So maybe the videos or images or text data, everything. Initially, they have trained only the text, not the images and all. This data is extracted from the blogs or the websites and all. And you take the transformer as an algorithm. You train a model, and you'll get a you train this data. You'll get a model as an output. This is nothing but GPT model. What is the GPT? Chart GPT, GPT stands for generative pre-trained transformer. Because it's a transformer architecture. Generative pre-trained transformer. This is a GPT. Okay. So initially the first one is not a GPT. Whatever the Google has built, they have built the BERT. This first, it's like our when in 2017, it is like our chart GPT. Okay, which is nothing but bidirectional encoding representational transformer. So that is what initially produced, but it is not able to achieve to such a level. But it was really good. They have multiple variations, 2018 and 2019 and all. Until the GPT in the even during that time we had the GPT models. GPT you may be knowing from the 2022. We already know from 2017. GPT 1, GPT 2. The people come to know from the GPT 3.5 because this was launched to the public. GPT 3.5 launched to the public. They named it as Chat GPT. Initial one, the first model. Now the GPT-4, 4.0, 5, 5 mini, 4.4, 5.4, 5.5, these and all models got launched. Each and everything will have its own intelligence. They're slowly trying to improve the intelligence by increasing the data training time. The problem here is how do you train? So I meant to say which mission do you use for the training? So far we have the CPUs or GPUs. You might be using all the CPUs, right? i4, i9, Intel processors, or maybe the
Yeah.
normal things and all. So, but those and all not sufficient to train the neural networks because transform also neural network model only internally. Okay. So GPU are required. GPUs are one of the largest providers in NVIDIA. So if you are you guys do you guys play the games, video games?
Hmm.
So you must be
Yes.
having any GPU computer, right? The
Like,
computer games.
yeah, yeah.
So which one do you have? Which GPU computer do you have? Is it RTX?
Uh,
RTX 3 series or 4 series or 5 series something?
I don't have with mine, but one of
Hmm.
our friend uses. I don't know exactly what is this RTX 3X 4X. I
Yeah,
did not
RTX
ask.
is a GPU types. These and all the computers generally. Earlier, the NVIDIA used to produce this for the graphical computations, but
Mm-hmm.
recently, people have using for the AI. Okay, so this was intentionally they made it for the graphical processing, but later it was made for the AI. So this,
Okay.
why do we need a GPUs? Because CPUs hardly you will get 4 core or 8 core or 16 core, right? Those many parallel processing will happens. Number of cores equal to number of parallel processing, number of threads you can create. But in the GPU, you have thousands and thousands of cores. The parallel computations are heavy. Why do we need a parallel computations? Because model training, what is happening, it's a multiplications, matrix multiplications. How do you compute two matrices, how can you efficiently compute the two matrices multiplication? Which is very hard. Okay, you had to have in the Python we'll use a NumPy. NumPy is an array, one of the library which will be used for the handling the arrays, especially matrices. This matrix multiplication matrices in high dimension, thousands and thousands of dimensions are there. To do this one, it's not sufficient for the CPUs. You need to have a GPUs to do the fastest computation in the GPU sector. This is very basic GPUs I refer to because back then people have T4 GPUs. I'm talking about the architecture of the GPUs. It's a hardware. I'm talking about
Okay.
T4 GPUs, A10 GPUs, and the L4 GPUs, and then people have come with A100. The latest one is H100, H200, B100, B200. These GPUs provided by the NVIDIA. These GPUs are highly expensive. You can't buy it because even the shortage is there. Even you can rent it. Where you can rent it? You can rent it from the AWS or Azure. Okay. This to even GCP, any cloud vendors you can take this for rent. They will charge you per hour per usage. If you wanted to buy, it will cost like more than 1 crore in Indian currency. It may go to the multiple crores. If you because one GPU may not be sufficient, you may need to have the 100 GPUs or 1,000 GPUs. It will go into billions and billions of dollars. You need to have a lot of investment to train any kind of a model. You can't train because training is only done by the very big companies. If anybody can build such kind of a GPT models, why the Apple is not doing? Why the Microsoft is not doing? They already they lost the game. They can't build it. Okay, they have to tie up with ChatGPT, Gemini, Cloud, such kind of a vendors. AWS already did that. AWS also can't do it. They already tied up with Cloud. They also have the Nova models, but Nova models are not at all good. Okay, so but okay, so too much about the GPUs. I just don't want to go in depth. Okay, so these many GPUs are required to train, and the training is very costlier, and you get the output as a model. That model will have a lot of parameters. So this model we call it as a LLM, large language models. Why do we call it as an LLM? Why do we call it as a large language models?
Because we are going on giving on a type over there, right? So the Basing upon this one, it will change into each model is of a different set, right? It is not a single model every time it has to take into picture. That is what my understanding in generic.
So large refers to the large parameters. Large parameters. Large parameters refers to the complex architecture. So for example, I will just give you a very brief way. What is the parameter? Uh, so look at this simple deep neural networks. Here, each circle refers to the neuron. Each circle refers to the neuron. So there is a connection from the input layer to the next layer, right? So let me just zoom it a little bit. So you can see this number of lines connections. Can you count how many such kind of lines are there? Can you count?
It's a little bit difficult, right? In that image.
It's very simple, right? Total 5 is there. 5 neurons here. 5 multiplied
Yeah,
for 25.
1:5, it goes like that. It's a permutation combination kind of thing.
Yeah. If you do that, how many you will get? Suppose here 5 are there, here 5 are there. 5 multiplied with 5, 25. 25 connections are there. Here also 25, 25. And here how many? 25 multiplied with 3, 75, right? 75 here, 5 multiplied with 3, 15. 75 plus 15, 90, right? 90 parameters.
Yes.
So, and 90 plus number of neurons here. Just count these green ones. 90 plus 5, 95, 100, 105, or 99, 90, 95, 100, 105, 105. So these are equal to the number of parameters. I'm not going in detail. Parameters are nothing but weights, we call weights and biases. But those and all equal to same numbers, whatever is shown here. So these and all, when I say the training, it will train these weights and biases. Okay. So now, how many parameters do you think a GPT models does have? ChatGPT. How many parameters do you think it will have?
No, but it's the internet of data you are telling, right? So it will be many, right? It should be
175 billion parameters for the GPT-3 and the GPT-4 220 billions. It is going on and on. 1 trillion, totaling 1 trillion parameters, it will be going. So, to handle those many parameters, a one single GPU may not be sufficient. You may need to have tons of GPUs and host the model, and you have to do the scaling again. Scaling nothing but, right? So, multiple the instances you have to create. The GPUs will be used like anything. So that is inference, not about training. Training is a one-time job. Once you are done with the training, you have to serve that model for the public to use it. Correct? That is what I refer to. So that also requires many GPUs. Yeah, so that's the reason NVIDIA is in the top, and the AWS and even the Grok also having their own data centers and all. Yeah, so that is all about the hardware which is required to run this kind of a LLMs. And then people have built SLMs, small language models. So nothing but you choose the smallest model like 3 billion, 4 billion, 5 billion, which we can run in our local computers. Okay, so that is all about this one. And then so you need to build, once these LLMs are ready, you have to use them. Either you can use it through the APIs, or you can self-host it. Using self-hosting required to have a GPUs. And then if you wanted to run it on your computers, better to use SLMs, small language models, which are with less parameters, which we can run. Okay, and then to build the application, we need to know a lot of frameworks. So especially the LangChain, and then so how many kind of LLMs do you know? So can you just name all the LLMs you are aware of?
actually no idea. Easy to say
GPT.
LLM.
So ChatGPT.
ChatGPT.
Yeah. So GPT itself is having 3.5, 4.0. So 4 series, 5 series models are there. Many models are there. 2030. Okay.
Copilot.
Opus, Sonnet,
Gemini. So Gemini and the Flash models are there, and
Claude.
Pro models are there. Yeah, Claude, very good. So Claude is having Sonnet and Opus and Haiku, and
Grok,
Grok, very good. Grok also having good series of models, and
Llama.
Oh, very good. Llama from the Meta. Yeah, and yeah, this many. So these are all
DeepSeek,
proprietary models. Yeah, DeepSeek, very good. Yeah, DeepSeek. So maybe the Quen, Mistral, Phi.
Mistral.
Okay, so there are multiple models. How many such kind of models do you think it is there?
5 is SLM, right?
I'm sorry. Yeah, so I'm talking about generative models. So SLMs or LLMs, including everything. So everything is like the what do you call the generative models, right? I'm talking about the generative models. Okay, so how many
There is
such kind of
also Google Gamma.
Gamma? Yeah, very good. Gamma also open source model from the Google. So last few are open source. These are not proprietary. They're not proprietary, which are in the blue, sorry, green. So these are all open source, which are in the orange. Okay. So how many such kind of models are there? What do you think the count is? 100, 200, 300? So you can look at here in Hugging Face, we have nearly 20, 20, 20
ఐఏఎస్ అప్లికేషన్ ఇన్స్టాల్ చేస్తాం. ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసి దానిపైన మన వెబ్
can you be on the
అప్లికేషన్స్
mute? Let me
అయితే
put on the mute.
హెచ్డిఎఫ్సి లోన్స్, హెచ్డిఎఫ్సి క్రెడిట్ కార్డ్స్.
Right. So look at these models. 28 lakhs 99,784. In the text generation models, it's a 3,67,973 models are there in the open source world. And if you look into the image to text, 1,636 models. Image to image, 2,000 plus models. Image and text to the text, 27,000 models. Text to the speech, text to the video. Because these many generative models are available in the different sector, either image or text. Okay, so this is all the models which generally available as the public to use it. You can take that model, download it in your local and run it on your own server as a custom model instead of using this kind of a guys. Of course, efficiency matters and quality matters. That is secondary. Yeah. So and coming back to the once the models are completed, what kind of applications you can build using these models? You can build the personal assistants like chatbots. The chatbots can be multiple levels. Kind of a level of intelligence you wanted to add to the chatbots really matters. The chatbot don't think like it's a Q&A. It is having a lot more than Q&A. It is having a lot of workflows. Okay, earlier whatever you were using through the UI, you wanted to get a refund, you go to the apply for the refund. No, nothing you do. You just like how the chatbot should behave, like it should solve all your problems. Okay, you can even create a workflows using these LLMs. Okay, and you can even build the, especially this is where the agentic architecture will come. When you wanted to give these LLMs are these are static. They don't know what is happening because they're having knowledge cutoff. Knowledge cutoff in the sense of what if the training data is, for example, training data is 2025 December 2025, where the training cutoff happened. Then it doesn't know what happens post the 2025. Will you be able to train every single time? No, that is very costly process. You can't train every single time. Yearly, once or twice, these big tech companies, they can do it. What should happen after this one? Then they come up with the agentic frameworks to make it big. These LLMs are static. What I mean by static is they don't know what is happening in the real time world. Suppose they can't book your tickets. Suppose once you ask them, so what is happening? Can you help me with booking of the tickets? No, it won't book. It will help you where it will fetch the data for you, but it will not book the ticket. Action it will not do. To bring that action into this generative AI, people have built the agents, agentic frameworks. So this is to make it action and make it plan and all. So this is where agentic AI come. Agentic AI and generative AI both comes together. Okay. So you can't do the agentic AI without the generative AI. Both has to be together, blend together. So prerequisites is to have the LLMs and generative AI. Okay. So this is where, and you can build the projects based on that. And coming to the syllabus, what I'll be teaching is I have the multiple courses. I done the data science course, machine learning course, and generative AI, and with the deep learning course. And this is the AgenticAI course. I thought that is what you guys are interested. I got to know. So that's the reason this syllabus is in the direction. So for that you need to have some introduction to generative, some of the prerequisites that I will be teaching. So especially the NLP process, like how the text we had to process and what are the tokens. So what kind of text pre-processing techniques are available. So how do you represent a text into the numbers? What are the word embeddings? How do you create a word embeddings and the LLMs and transformers? That is where we start our course with. And then we'll go ahead with the foundational models, especially how the AI models learn and what is happening, and how can we utilize these foundational models to generate the response. Generally, you might be using the UI from the ChatGPT or Gemini. That is not how we build the applications. We had to get the API key, and using the API key, we had to build the application. This UI is only for the normal people, not for the developers. And we have the closed source proprietary models like the OpenAI, Gemini, Anthropic clouds. So these and all we will try to use it in our applications by building some by using their API calls, and then we'll even look into the open source models like Olama and the Grok, not GROK, it's GROQ, where the Llama and all models got hosted. Even we will try to host it in our computer with the SLMs, and the Quinn models we will do the experimentation. Then we'll go ahead with the prompt engineering, because without the prompt engineering, it's hard to survey. Prompt engineering is highly important for this generative and agentic use case, because that is where you can create a workflow, so you can make sure the output is structured and all. And there are multiple topics other than that: zero shot prompting and the temperature sampling and the max tokens, top P, top K. So these and all part of the hallucinations control. Then we will talk about you might be knowing the databases like Oracle, Postgres, and all those databases not sufficient. We had to go into the vector databases. So where this vectors has to be stored, there are multiple vendors outside: Chroma, Qtrend, Face, Milvus, Pinecone, VV8. Multiple people are moving towards vector databases. That is the only the database which we had to use it for our generative and agentic AI use case, especially for the vector search. And then LangChain and hacking face frameworks, and which we have to know to build the applications, how to create a chain, how to do the observability and monitoring, and how we can use these frameworks to integrate with all other tools and LLM models and all. And then we have the RAG pipeline. So that is part of the course, and the RAG is especially to avoid. Suppose generally you guys know the what do you call? Uh, Suppose LLMs doesn't know your private data, right? So your company might be having this the confidential data. How can you extend that knowledge to the LLM? So either you can train it the model. Training is very expensive. So the alternate approach is a RAG. RAG can solve 99% of the problems. If the RAG is not able to solve, if your domain is completely new, then only we have to go for the fine tuning or training. And this is agentic AI, where we start with the how we can build the agents using the two frameworks. One is Crew AI, the other is LangGraph. Okay, so this is all the course is about. I know some of you people are very new. You may not be able to understand this terminology. May be new to most of the people. Some guys maybe already know it. What I'm talking. Yeah. So I will stop here. I will take a questions right now. Yeah, please go ahead.
Hey, one quick question is, if it is giving this much expensive, why they are promoting this one, and why the rumors are coming like AI is replacing the engineers?
Because it can solve, though it is expensive, but will it be able to give the qualitative results first? So because definitely if it is expensive, suppose you take a $200 subscription from the cloud, which can replace 10 engineers. You got my point. So
I'm
currently
trying
we are
to
using
map the
because
things.
yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
I'm trying to map your things when you are
Mm.
telling about initially and now. So I'm
Yeah,
trying to map the things. Okay.
because we
Yeah,
are
go
not
ahead.
only the users, right? Because there are
Mhm.
everybody is using it. Because suppose if you're using the cloud model or OpenAI models, they're hosting a serverless. Serverless models are being accessed by across the world. Okay, and based on the token consumption, they will charge you. If the
Correct.
models are more powerful, less tokens are sufficient to build it. Okay, like Opus 4.7 and all, they can consume the less tokens. But eventually, if you compare with the humans, you have to pay them a lot. or maybe 10 people are there, one person can sit and give an access to the cloud or OpenAI. With the help of them, is having some particular amount of knowledge, right? So he can validate, write the code and all. He can, in that process, he can evaluate. That is in the developer perspective, productivity level perspective, you can reduce the cost. The other one is building the pipelines, like agentic pipelines, like which can solve. Suppose you are working for a banking domain, let us assume, and let somebody is applying for the loan. So you have to process the documentation process, like you apply for the loan, look at his data,
Right.
and then you do a lot of workflows will be there. KYC you had to do, and then what is his previous history? You had to come up with some number whether you can proceed with the giving a loan or not. That decision is very critical. So once you build such kind of a workflow, then it becomes more seamless, right? Since it is serverless, cost is less. If you wanted to host it on your own, cost is very high. Okay.
Because the moment when you said H100 and these things, right? So why it is more expensive? I heard like why it is more expensive. Why it is more expensive? I came to know the knowledge where you had given. So this is how it takes it up. And now I'm able to map the things. And thank you so much for that.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Yeah. No, hey Ganesh, this is Purna. Yeah. So it was a great session, and so yeah, and very knowledgeable. My basic question is like, what is the duration of the course?
Duration will be around generally 2.5 months. It is, yeah. Sometimes it
So
will
now,
go max to max 3 months, not more than that.
it's okay. So like, how you plan to take the classes? Like every like 5 days a week or like
Yeah,
3 days
it's
a
a five
week?
days a week. It's a 5 days a week, same time,
1 hour? Oh, okay. Okay.
1 hour. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Another question is like, so after completion of this course, so yeah, what should I be able to do? I mean, like in the real world.
You will be able to be. This is more of developer perspective role, right? It's AI engineer, generative engineer roles, so you can apply for it in general. In the
Okay.
building of the applications, so you can utilize these things and try to incorporate it within your companies or something. So that way,
Okay.
that level of customization you can think of.
Okay.
So
So
where you can
yeah,
automate, where you can create a workflows, anywhere you can integrate with LLMs and all that you can think of. Yeah.
right. So how about the practice? Like how we can do the practice?
So the practice generally all the sessions are coding sessions. Basically, I'll be writing the code. Some days will be the theory sessions will be there. Most of the sessions will be coding sessions. So I'll be writing the
Right.
code and trying to explain. So coming
Mhm.
to the things and all, you can take out any of your, because once the coding is completed, you can try to incorporate similar kind of a thing in your workflows. Or if you want, I can even provide you some assignments. There is no issue in that, because most of the people doesn't have a time to do the assignment. That is what I have observed in the previous batches. Yeah,
Okay.
because most of you guys are working employees, right? Yeah.
Where you can test those things, like so in the real
Yeah.
world.
So generally, we will be using, most of the times we'll be using these APIs, right? So especially from the cloud OpenAI and all. So we need to get the
Oh,
APIs, and then we can run the code within our computers itself. Until unless you
okay.
want to do the fine tuning, generally we don't do it. Nobody does that. That requires,
Right.
at least if you wanted to do it, it will require minimum $1,000. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
Purna, please take the Ganesh contact numbers, okay? Contact details like email ID and the phone numbers.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Could you please share your contact details?
Oh, actually, I was not allowed to share my details. That is
No,
what,
no,
because I think
no,
Rani is the person,
Oh,
right?
okay.
I will
Yeah.
talk this out. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
thanks.
generally I'm not associated with any of this
Yeah.
organization. I work as an
Yeah.
Oh, I
independent.
got you.
Okay.
Now I got it. Yeah, now I got it.
I'm going to talk to Rani about it. Okay, that's fine. So, no.
So whoever,
Just
yeah,
a follow Go ahead. It's okay.
yeah, please.
Just a follow-up question on what Purna asked. Like AI engineering
Sorry, I couldn't. Your voice is breaking actually.
interviews, right?
No,
Like,
no.
what do
Sorry.
you think?
Is it only for
Uh,
me? I couldn't able to hear your voice properly.
Yeah. So
is
Vamshi, can you type in your question? We can't hear you properly.
required? Like, if you do this course, you think you'll be algorithm? Yeah. I'll try.
Yeah. Meanwhile, if anyone have any other questions?
Yeah.
think Ganesh, can you hang back? I think I'll go in the last after everybody is done. I have a few questions.
What you want me to open?
No, I want to talk to you. I think I'll talk to you after everybody is done, if you can hang back.
Okay, fine, sure. Whoever done, you guys can leave. Yeah.
So yeah,
Will this
Vamshi,
course be sufficient or good starting point for the engineer? Yeah, yes, it is. Vamshi, yes. Yeah. So the only prerequisite for this course is fundamentals of the Python. I want you to know fundamentals of the Python, like very basic thing, how to create a data types, for loops, or if you can go ahead, yeah, some of the data structures like sets, dictionaries, lists, just basic fundamentals. It won't take even 2-3 hours to learn. Yeah, the prerequisite. Yeah.
Akshay, do you have any question?
Yeah, I was going to ask about the prerequisites only.
Yeah, I
Oh,
see.
okay.
Okay. Yeah, that is what I said. Fundamentals of the Python is sufficient.
Yeah, thank you.
So Ganesh, this is Naveen. I think you already answered Puna's question about what future roles we can expect. But as a layman, if I learn Python
Mm,
fundamentals and start this course,
mm,
after finishing the course and practicing whatever assignments you give,
mm.
what kind of jobs or roles I can expect?
Yeah, so see, in
So
general,
just
the
trying to
roles are,
understand the future
yeah,
market. Yeah.
yeah, generative AI and AI engineer roles you can expect. Yeah, because
So
earlier
Gen
the roles are
AI
different.
versus
Earlier,
agentic
so
AI.
yeah. So
Sorry,
earlier,
the question is,
yeah, tell me, please.
no, no, go ahead.
So the thing is, earlier the roles were different. So if you are to apply for the data scientist role, you need to have a statistical background. You need to know statistics, mathematics, and the classical machine learning. For the ML engineer role, used to be there where we had to use the PyTorch and TensorFlow and neural networks architecture. So and data engineer, you might be already knowing. You had to know the big data architecture like Hadoop, Spark, and the Airflow, such kind of a thing. Data analyst is nothing but SQL, Tableau, and the what you call the other the business intelligence platforms for there, right? Those things. But now the generative AI sector, when it comes, right, most of this becomes like obsolete. Nobody, very rarely people are using classical machine learning, and even the conventional deep learning also. Very few people are using it. They're trying to integrate their applications with these generative AI LLMs or SLM models. Okay, vector embedding creation, RAG pipelines. This is what people are doing it right now. Almost every single person you ask who's working on the AI engineer, that is what they're doing. So the roles have been shifted a little. So now the people are coming up with that AI engineer, generative AI engineer, LLM engineer, software engineer with this kind of a roles. If you are coming from the software engineering, this is a good one. Okay, even if you are coming from a data science background, because data scientist people, they don't know much thing about the software engineering thing. Software engineering people can easily get into this thing, but data science people it will be difficult because they are not much aligned with it. Because I worked as a software engineer also, so for me, it used to be very easy to learn most of the stuff back then. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I mean,
yeah,
the reason for asking this question is we have blend of people like we have data engineers who wants to learn into this. We have some visualization person. They are
right.
experts in Tableau or something, and there
Mm-hmm.
are some data analysts. So if they want to transition into these agentic or Gen AI roles, is this a good starting point for them? That's
It
the
is a
basic.
good. Yes, it is.
Okay, okay. And if I want to land in a job with the agentic AI skills,
Mm.
what additional courses I need to learn along
So
with this?
once this is completed, right, you can go ahead and learning and building the stuffs, because there is no full stop. Most of the things, suppose whatever I teach, these are all evolving over a period of time.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier, machine learning got stopped, deep learning got stopped at some point. There is a full stop. This is not no longer having a full stop. Okay, so every week, every month, they're launching something new. So then,
Right.
my goal is to make you understand to read on your own in the after this course, whatever it launched newly. You should be comfortable to go ahead, whatever it is coming ahead. Okay, so that is should be your goal, and of course you will be able to apply for the jobs and all with this knowledge. And if you are able to incorporate within your workflow, that is even more. That will give you more confidence. You can attend the classes, but to build the confidence more, better to build the projects by hands-on.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, I 100% agree on that. Unless you really work on it, you won't
yeah,
really
right.
understand. And one last question. So we have a bunch of companies who are working and building their own agentic AI stuff, like Salesforce has it and SAP has it.
Mhm.
So what is the difference between SAP's agentic AI versus Salesforce agentic AI?
No, the
Just trying to understand on a high
agents
level
can be
scenario.
built. Agents can be built to solve some problems. Okay, so
Right. Yeah.
suppose I will tell
Mhm.
you what is an agentic AI. Okay, suppose you are going into platform to book a ticket. Okay, so you're going to book for a bus ticket or whatever the flight tickets, let us assume. So you ask a question. So I wanted to build. I wanted to go from the Bangalore to the Goa. So can you help me with booking a ticket? Then, so that should have an intelligence to talk with multiple agents. First thing it will take, understand search agent will go, will there any flights available from the Bangalore to go, the Delhi? Okay, this many flights are available. Is it within his budget or not? Okay, if it is within his budget, and how much time it requires for him, and on what date he wanted to apply, and booking a ticket. This involves a lot of multiple agents collaboration. Okay, so this is to solve the problem of booking of the ticket. And agent Salesforce may be having their own problems, like probably they're having to integrate it with the data analyst platform to replace the Tableau and all. Okay, so there can be
Mhm.
Swiggy is using it completely depending on their problem statement how they're doing it. I can't directly give you the different what is the difference between this agentic AI. Agentic AI is not a framework, so agentic AI is not a single learnable thing. It's just a concept. Where you will apply is
Yeah. Yeah.
matters, right? Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
So
Uh, yeah. I know those basics, Ganesh, but
okay,
the reason why I'm asking is we have two different verticals. SAP has its own capabilities, and Salesforce has its own capabilities in terms of applications. So building agents will be differed, and you need to have business knowledge, and you need to know the architecture as well.
correct. Yeah, that
So
depends on
yeah,
the SAP. I'm not associated with SAP or Salesforce. So
yeah,
this course is aligned with more the open to
a
everyone,
technical
not
point of view.
yeah technical point of view. Yeah, this concept you
Perfect.
can
Okay.
use it to build it within the SAP or Salesforce. Yeah,
So yeah, yeah. So it's in terms of in other words, we can say it's a platform agnostic. The way whatever we are
correct.
going to learn, and you can implement it any platform.
Right, right.
Okay. Thanks, Ganesh.
Yeah, thank you all. So any other question? Because we have a little bit of time. Actually, I had to jump into another class already 10 minutes
Uh,
late. Yeah, it's fine. Maybe I can take any one or two questions,
So
or you can.
Ganesh,
Yeah, tell me.
uh, uh, so what? So if I have to reach out to you, like, what is a company name? Uh, who is the contact person that I need to reach out to?
How did you
And
get this? How did you get this link?
my friend just sent me the Zoom link.
I see. Okay, so fine. Zoom link was okay. How do I do for youth scenarios like
Kavita,
people?
can you reach us later so we will discuss about it?
I don't
Yeah,
know who to reach out to.
yeah.
That's
Okay, fine. Do
when
do one thing.
Okay.
Do one thing. So those who are not associated with this company and all. So okay, just email to this number. I will give you the contact person details. Okay, so I just push my email ID over there. So who already know the Rani details, they can go ahead and contact her. Or some kind of a new they're unable to find it out whom to contact. You just mail me. I will give you the contact person details. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And do you also teach ML ops?
No, because there are no many students really required ML ops. Already, I can only accommodate two batches right now. Because earlier I used to do three, but now I don't have time because I had to go for my job after this 9 o'clock. Yeah, that is the thing.
Uh,
Currently, no. Currently, no.
So apart from this, what other courses do you teach?
I teach data science, machine learning, and generative AI and agentic AI. So only these things right now, and even the data science and machine learning, I'm not doing right now because everybody wants to have that. That depends on
They
the
don't.
popularity, right? And they don't want it to learn.
Right.
If there are many students, I'm ready to teach. There is no issue, depending on the students'
Okay.
priority and level, how many people I get. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Got it. And I know you talked about real world, implementing the concepts that are being taught in projects. Do you provide any projects that we can work on?
Uh, yeah, yeah. So generally, I will try to provide some assignments to you. If you can do that, that is really well. Yeah.
Okay.
One. So that is because most of the sessions are labs only. some portion of that I will teach, and some portion I will give it as assignment. Okay.
Got it. Got it.
Mm. All right.
All right, Ganesh. Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate your time. Okay. We'll get back to you. Okay. If you
Yeah.
run.
Thank you. Thank you all. Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Ganesh.
Thank you, Ganesh.